And we are back. So, last we left off, the Fellowship has been split at this point. We've got two separate adventures happening at once. However, Mr. Marius Wolf and Bragging the Bold, or should I say Bragging the Formerly Bold, as his manuscript was not only retrieved from Mr. Gold and bartered for, but was burned by Marius Wolf. Got rid of all of the damning evidence that was in...
Bragging's going to be so butthurt.
Yes, he will definitely be hurt. Of course, Bragging was unconscious and under the effects of several, let's just call them recreational drugs at this point, and was not in his right state of mind to begin with. So he did not see or hear anything what happened. He did, however, sign a blank piece of paper that Mr. Gold will undoubtedly put to good use someday. Who knows? Regardless, we also had Mr. MacCready, who ultimately decided to not only follow Three Fingers and attempt to protect her, but threatened the road wardens that began to pursue him. I will say this,
They're
Sheamus.
dead, though.
There were three that were pursuing you. Two you saw die. You don't know about the third. So, if all of them died, you might be in the clear. We'll see how this goes. But currently,
They'll be dead too.
You might also be joining them, as
True.
the safety of Mother Inga's hovel was dangled nearby, but Sheamus MacCready, not wanting any part of her foul witchcraft and dark deeds, decided to brave it on his own, as Three Fingers left him in an attempt to escape, all on her lonesome. Apparently drawn to the sound of fighting and the smell of blood were the remnants of the children of the dark gods, the beastmen. The foul creatures of chaos have converged on this small band of wounded individuals. They quickly set upon the road wardens after Sheamus blew the head off of one of these large gore-like creatures and was making his escape. However, another gore with a pair of hunting chaos warhounds was nearby and let them loose, which are quickly going to converge on our intrepid adventurer. And that is exactly where we're going to pick up, Sheamus. The hounds have been loosed, the barks and brays. Sheamus, we're in yet another skill challenge.
Ooh.
You are severely hurt. You're not looking good. How many pistol shots do you have left? Loaded? 2?
Loaded. I should have 3 because I don't
3.
think I fired.
You didn't fire the other one? Okay,
one.
so you have 3 pistol shots left. It does take an action to reload any of your black powder weapons. So keep that in mind as you are moving. Now, you know from past experience, Sheamus, it's been some time since you fought these foul creatures, but they're fast. Really, really fast. What are you going to do, Sheamus? I'm giving you essentially a round to do something. These creatures are about 50 feet from you. You are making your way through the woods. It looks like the other more humanoid beastmen creatures, the more man-like creatures, are greedily feasting on the corpses of the fallen behind you. It looks like they're not giving chase as of yet. Seeing the hounds is more than enough to put you down and then collect your corpse later. What are you doing, Sheamus?
How far are the hounds?
50 feet.
50 feet? Oh,
50
shit,
feet.
I can't hit any of them. Is it possible to somehow use the pistol to light my Molotov?
These are kind of like pseudo flintlock pistols. So I would allow you with a man. Okay, let me see here. I'll let you do it as a free action. You can cock back one of the pistols that the pistol you've already fired, obviously, because you don't want to use one of the loaded ones, and use the kind of sparks that ignite from where the flint hits the hammer, and or I forget what it's called, some kind of plate. I don't remember all the damn pieces of a black powder weapon. Forgive me. Regardless, the sparks that it makes, you could probably use them to ignite one of. You have a Molotov? Marius gave you one, didn't he?
I have one.
That was a long time ago. You still have it.
Molotov.
Okay.
Yeah.
It is very. You've had it for a long time, Sheamus.
Mm-hmm.
Go and roll me a D10. Let's see how well this Molotov has kept up over the years.
That's right in the middle. It's a 5.
Damn it. It's right in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4. I will give it to you because that's on the bottom half because it's 1 to 10.
Woo! Yes.
I'll give it to you. I give it to you on that one. If you would roll a 6 though, a 6 or above, it would have not been good. So you take it out as your free action. You can spark it with one of your pistols, and you've got it in your hand now.
I want to chuck it like in front of the dogs.
Okay, do your best
if I
throw maneuver. Let's see how you do.
Yeah. I don't know how
it's just going to be.
something.
This is just ballistic skill because you don't have like improvised weapons or anything like that.
All right, straight ballistic.
Yep.
All right, that is going to be a 37 out of 46.
Ooh, god damn, you got good ballistic skill. Okay. So you take it. What's your strength bonus? Is it just 3?
Just 3.
3. Okay. All right. So you can get 30 feet. Throw. So not quite to them, but however, with that many success levels, you chuck the Molotov and it flies through the air and shatters, and this wall of flame just bursts nearby. It covers a decent amount of area, enough that, let me roll for him. One of the dogs, the Chaos Warhounds, immediately flinches away and begins flinching away from it. And as this fire erupts, some of the beastmen, some of the gores and ungores, look up and glance over in your direction, seeing a much more dangerous individual than they thought before. But one of the hounds is still converging. Would you like to move any further?
I would probably, keep trying to move away.
Okay, you move your additional,
catch me,
your additional 40 feet. You're stumbling. This thing moves at, I want to say, let me see. Let me make sure. Yeah, this thing moves at 90 feet around, so it catches up to you. It dodges around the side of the flames unhindered. And this one has these large spikes growing around its jaws, almost like sets of mandibles growing around its jaws. And it's got this thick, foul-smelling fur as it lumbers towards you and is going to attempt to jump and rip your face off. So I need you to make me a roll, a defense of some kind, Sheamus.
All right, let's see. I imagine I want to dodge, but I can't really block with anything.
Yeah, you used your free action. Otherwise, I would let you draw your sword, but you've already done that. So,
yep.
Make me a dodge. Then.
Not good. I'm not.
How bad is it?
That's a 40 out of 36.
Okay. Sheamus, you're stumbling, trying to get away, and this huge hound is lumbering towards you, and it jumps. And just as it jumps, Sheamus, your toe stumbles on a root, and you stumble forward. And as you stumble forward, the thing actually passes behind you and takes a big chunk out of a tree nearby and misses somehow. As it wrestles with the tree branch, you can give yourself a point of momentum, and it is now your turn, Sheamus. It is technically in melee with you.
All right. I want to shoot it with another pistol. Try to kill it.
You're going to shoot it?
Yep.
Okay. You free action draw another pistol at it with your... So you have a dead pistol in your left hand currently. Your right hand's open, because I'm assuming that's the one you threw your Molotov with. So you draw again, free action with your right hand to draw another pistol. Go ahead and give me a shot. Point blank, it's a plus 20, plus your momentum.
Oh, yes. Yes. So that is a 41 out of... Plus 20 is an 86, 96.
Okay. Total damage real quick. Because it does not dodge.
But that is 14.
14 wounds. Okay, that's significant. You boom, and you catch it in its back. And it fails. It fails that test bad. And it begins running quickly away from you as the shot rings out. In the direction of the other beastmen, running away, fleeing for its life. What do you do now, Sheamus, as it is you're disengaged? You're running again?
I'm the running man.
Jesus. Okay, as you're running, I'm assuming you're stowing your pistols?
Yes.
You have one. You have one left. You have one loaded. You begin. You're running as fast as you possibly can. Sheamus, at this point, I need to know what you're doing, because you have several options. You're out in the woods, all by your lonesome. There's been a massive commotion. Are you going to just flat out run and just keep running? Or are you going to attempt to hide nearby? Or are you going to call out for somebody? I need to know what your plan is right now.
My plan is to keep running. People keep showing up. I'm not going to hide. There's probably going to be a bloodthirster around the corner.
Yes, exactly. If the fans had their way, there would be. Go ahead and give me a athletics test.
17 out of 46.
Hell yes, Sheamus. You put on as much speed as your wounded body can muster. And after a few minutes, the sounds of the brain and the barking die away as you go deeper and deeper and deeper into the woods. You've completely lost track of where you are at this point. You're glancing around. You have no idea where you're at. You don't know where Three Fingers is because you just ran as fast as you could. You lost her trail somewhere back towards the Beastmen. Sheamus McCready, you are alone in the woods in the dark. And the sun is beginning to set. What are you doing, Sheamus?
I'm just going to keep going as far as I can go, and then I guess eventually bed down somewhere because I can't see in the dark.
Nope. You're stumbling, and a man by himself, wounded as you are. How far do you go with these bolts sticking out of you?
Process. I guess I just couldn't see anymore.
Okay, so you're going for at least a few hours at this point. I'm going to say at least 3-4 hours running with bolts and an arrow gyrating in your body. You couldn't feel it at first due to the adrenaline, but you start to feel it quite a bit. Mm-hmm. It gets to the point where it's unbearable. Sheamus, I need you to make me an endurance chest at -30.
Yeah, my fear is when I pull these arrows out, I'm going to pass out because I'm at one point.
Go ahead and give me that endurance test real quick. Let's see.
Endurance -30. What is endurance? 67, so 37. All right, that is a. Whew, that is going to be a 50 out of 37.
Okay. So here's what happens, Sheamus. Oh no. All right. Sheamus, you begin to feel like a burning sensation, specifically from the arrow in your chest. You sit down and against like a corpse of rocks, and you see a little bit of a makeshift shelter you can probably make without making too much of a check here. Are you going to attempt to remove these bolts and everything at this point?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and give me a heal test. We'll see how this goes.
Yep. Oh, damn. That is a 52 out of 51.
You don't have any fortune left either.
Nope, I don't have anything left.
So you're fumbling, your hands are getting numb. And you can't quite remove these easily. Your other option is to make a strength check and pull them from your body.
Yep. We'll do it. We'll cast away this and pass out after.
Okay, give me a strength check, and we'll see how many you get out of your body before you pass out.
Low numbers, come on. That's a 2 for the first one.
Okay.
2 out of 30.
Okay. So 2. So that's enough for you to get all 3. So you start with the bolts, the actual crossbow bolts. You rip out the one in your shoulder, toss it to the side. Then you take the one out of your back or your chest kind of area. Then the last one is the arrow that Angelica put in your body. As you grab it, it hurts much worse than the bolts. And you actually peel back your armor to look at the wound. And there are black tendrils snaking around the wound with the arrow. It looks like it's beginning to fester.
Mm-hmm.
You feel a chill come over your body as a fever sets in. And your eyes begin to drift close. And Sheamus McCready goes unconscious in the middle of the woods without making camp, and an arrow stuck in his chest. And that's where we're going to leave him for now. Not too good.
Goodbye,
you have
world.
And you're the proud owner of a festering wound, Sheamus.
All right.
Bragging can tell you all about those.
I'll add that right below my corruption.
Yes. Go ahead and roll me a d10 real quick, and we'll see how long this is going to last.
3. 3
days. You have to survive your fever for 3 days, or succumb to it.
All right.
And if you succumb, that's it. There's no save.
Mm-hmm.
You'll just die from sickness. So yes.
All right.
We'll cover the symptoms when we come back to you. But for now, we will cast back over to the dynamic duo, Bragging the Bold and Marius Wolf. Marius, you watch the manuscript burn, and if you make sure it's completely gone. hoisting Beno over your shoulder. You know, you're used to this. You make your way out of the tapestry into the actual foyer of the Golden Tonics. Samir is passed out on the counter. At this point, he's just face down in a pile of this white powder. Just unconscious. Do you do anything, Marius?
He's passed out, unconscious.
Oh, he's out. He's unconscious in a pile of this white powder. You can see him breathing because the powder just moves every once in a while as he...
Did I see any other people in the downstairs?
In the storefront?
Well, not in the storefront, but in the back room.
Right on the other side of the tapestry, there is a single guard. Further in the room, that's where you get into the mage room.
Yeah, were there any civilians in there?
You peek out into here. You don't see anybody.
Well, I mean, were there any civilians when I walked down?
You didn't see any. While you were sitting there watching this thing burn, you would have seen at least one person get up and leave from their pulled curtains. They're all behind these heavy dark curtains. Whenever one of them is pulled, that means there's somebody in that kind of alcove. And so you saw several of those alcoves in use.
Okay. I might just like push Samir a little bit away from the white powder.
Okay, you kind of push him a little bit, and he kind of makes that kind of creepy noise, and then he he's unconscious.
Yeah, and then I'll probably take Beno back to Thaggy.
Okay.
Probably.
You walk out of, and at this point, it's in the afternoon at this point for you. Not as late as where we left Sheamus, but it's getting late. And as you leave the Golden Tonics, you take a deep breath in. The smell of shit and decaying wood of the neighborhood is much cleaner than the hallucinogenic compounds you were inhaling moments before.
I'm keeping that black hood.
Keeping that black hood? Yeah, you keep the hood. You keep the hood. It is a very good filter for inhalant problems. Well, that may or may not come up at some time. So yeah, you keep that thick black hood. I will say that you have no idea where Beno's is. It probably got left inside, so you have at least yours.
It is on the floor in that room.
It's probably in the floor inside, so it's gone. But you have your own. You tuck it away. I'm assuming you're not going to wear it walking around town like a creeper. And
No.
yeah, you're not the headsman. I mean, come on. You begin walking around out of this neighborhood. You still get some stares, especially now that you're carrying an unconscious man. And you begin making your way towards the Thaggy. You get about halfway to the Thaggy, Marius. And you just get an eerie feeling like somebody's watching you.
Oh boy.
You kind of glance around. But instinctively start glancing towards the rooftops. You don't see anything. You glance over in a nearby alley. And there's a figure standing in an alley. Looking out. Completely shadowed.
Red eyes?
You do take a moment to stop and stare?
So I'm walking past this alley, and I just kind of...
You're walking past, yes, and you notice it. You notice it instinctively, yes.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll look at him. I'm gonna stop and look at him.
You stop and you look into the alley, and the figure takes a step out of the shadows. It's a tall man. A heavy growth of beard and blank, vacant white eyes, swirling tattoos about his person. You recognize him immediately as the young man that you left with Mother Inga. She has need to speak with you. Bring the Bretonnian. And then he steps back into the shadows. And begins walking away.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll probably. Do I have all my adventuring supplies with me right now? I guess.
I'm going to assume you don't have everything, but you probably have.
Okay.
Some things.
Okay. Well, if we want to speed it up, I mean, I might just walk back to the
thaggy.
Thaggy.
Yeah.
Get my stuff. Tell the fiance and the child.
Yeah. Are you?
I'm heading out.
So yeah, and you're carrying Bragging this entire time. He's unconscious.
I know. I know.
There's still white powder around his nose as you bring them into the thaggy. You get a couple stares. You know, Sarah's not happy, obviously. But you collect your things. And are you going to be making a trek out to the woods?
Probably.
Okay.
She probably doesn't like to wait, you know? So, you know, I think Sarah's the only one I've ever told about Mother Inga.
Yes, indeed. And so she would know she would understand the reason for your expedience in this matter.
Yeah.
And
I guess I'm just taking unconscious Bragging.
Yes,
you know,
hauling unconscious Bragging around town. It's a good thing you're buff as hell, because otherwise this would be a very crippling task for a normal man. But, yeah. So just hauling around like, 150 pounds of just dead weight for a couple hours. not an easy task,
yeah.
But you haul the unconscious Bragging once again. You leave out the front gates and make your way out into the woods. And it takes about, go ahead and make me a perception test.
Okay. That's a 13 out of 57.
Okay. It doesn't take too long. It takes maybe 10, 15 minutes before you notice the similar arching wood doorway of Mother Inga's hovel nearby. And you're not very deep into the woods even. You know it moves at times. So
yeah.
You reach it, you step through, you see the hovel in the center, the 3 large mounds around the hovel. Of course, the stone path leading to it, and the very intricate markings, very reminiscent of the markings you've seen in the Old One's caverns, the tunnel as it was. There's still the glittering masks and just odd knickknacks and things attached to the outside of the hovel as you walk up to the door, which is, of course, ajar, as it always is. You open the door and step inside to a dimly lit room that you recognize. You've been here many times before. A large cauldron is currently bubbling in the center. And the stooped form of Mother Inga is actually stirring some contents in the cauldron. Ah, Wolf, you've made it. Very punctual of you. I see you brought the Bretonnian as well. Set him down. We may have need of him as of yet.
I set him down.
Okay, you just got to set him down nearby. And Mother Inga nods towards another figure who steps out, and it is the woman that you left here all the long ago. Eyes, of course, white and vacant. The long hair dangling around her shoulders. She has also intricate tattooing along her her skin as well. And she's wearing almost like hide, very primitive kind of looking armor, and like like almost like leaves for a skirt. And she walks over to Bragging, and she's got a bowl in her hands. And she tilts his head up and very gingerly begins to pour the contents into his mouth, holding him by the back of his head. Bragging, you immediately awaken. And all of your exhaustion is still removed. The 1 point you would have had from going unconscious is also removed.
Oh, fantastic.
And there's a woman over you pouring something into your mouth.
Something Bragging is used to.
Okay. Except for the only thing is when you look into her eyes, Bragging, they're completely blank and white, sightless. And you probably question if you were still having a nightmare.
Freaking out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm freaking out a little bit.
Ha, ha, and she puts a hand on your chest. Bragging, I need you to make me a cool test.
$21 out of 52. 3 levels of success.
3 levels of success. Unfortunately, I rolled really high on this Bragging, but it might be for the best. She begins muttering something, and you immediately feel the fear inside of you. Calm. You feel comfort, even.
What happened?
Yeah, you glance around. You see Marius, and you're in the old lady's hovel that you woke up in all those weeks ago. Yes, step away, let me see him. The woman stands up and begins to step away. The old woman is kind of stumbling toward you, Bragging.
Hello. Hello again? Have we met? Do you look familiar?
Of course, you don't remember. I was the one who saved you the last time. You seem to be in need of that often. Good thing we have Mr. Wolf here to do the honors. You seem to be in need of some instruction, as it was.
I look over to Marius and I give him a very questioning look, like, what the hell happened? Yes, madame, perhaps some instruction is required.
Indeed.
Please elaborate.
Well, come. And she walks back towards her cauldron. And she motions, she looks up at you, Marius, her eyes vacant, of course. You as well, Wolf. Step closer.
I do so.
Okay, you both come closer. She's stirring into this pot. And as she's stirring into the pot, you realize that it has an acrid smell to it. And you both take a deep breath in. It's something very familiar about the smell. She takes a big a ladle of the broth. And then she produces almost the bottom half of a skull, puts it on the makeshift table that she has in the center, so that it is, in fact, a bowl right now, and then pours the red steaming blood into it. And as she does, you see the blood swirl, Marius and Bragging both. You see it swirl and swirl on its own. And then suddenly there's an image in the blood. An image of a lady in white, a white dress, very fancy. Fancier than anything you've ever seen, Marius. Then you see a few men on horseback, riding hard, full plate mail with lances and barding. Then you
Does
see...
this look familiar to me?
They're kind of fuzzy images, but you can at least make out what is being depicted. Then you see a man wearing a skull mask, and another man with his features obscured completely, fighting. Then you see a dark, foreboding, almost castle-like structure, and the woman in the white dress being dragged to it. And then it dissipates.
Mother Inga, what are you showing us?
What did you see?
I saw
explain.
a fair damsel
Yeah.
being dragged away by some terrible warriors of the night. I saw what could have been knights fighting. What is this vision you have given us?
Well, this you saw a glimpse into fate, Mr. Bonneau. A fate that has tied you to the wolf and the headsman, as he likes to be called. All your fates are intertwined now. All your fates are bound. You got a glimpse into the future. Something terrible may happen soon. I feel dark forces stirring once again. It has been some time, but they've been collecting themselves. Something or someone is searching for the lost pages. You must not let them collect them, Wolf. You must be the one.
What are you guys talking about? I am so confused. What are these lost pages she is referring to, Marius? Is this your book, your devil book?
Yes, the devil book, There are powerful forces that want it. Sheamus and I have been trying to thwart them. That's how we met you, in that blasted tunnel, searching for these pages.
Oh, I remember the tunnel too well. Speaking of, my book, did you grab it?
Unfortunately, it fell in a fire.
What?
I know, tragic.
We have to go back and talk to Mr. Gold. Perhaps he's made a copy, or perhaps the deal. We have to go back and speak with him. But
I don't think that's gonna happen. No.
You're having this conversation in front of Mother Inga, just sitting there staring at the two of you.
I know.
Madame, please forgive my improprieties. You were speaking.
Oh, they can be forgiven, Mr. Bonneau. They can be very, very forgiven. And she gives a little bit of a sly smile. Her crooked, almost toothless mouth, all a little too wide than it should be.
I suppress a shudder, and I'm like, oh, no, thank you, madame. Marius.
Sure.
Madame, where is Sheamus?
Are you sure? Oh God.
It is so warm in here, madame. I might have to step outside and get some fresh air. Oh.
Mother Inga, Sheamus ran off in the morning. He didn't even finish his morning beer. Ran off and Down into the woods. I don't know where he is. Do we need to?
I
have
think
a
I can
feeling.
help you
I know-
find him.
Thank you.
That's one of the reasons
have a
why I
feeling-
summoned you. He might be in need. He cannot end here. He has at least one more task to fulfill.
I have a feeling
You'll
we're
find
going
him
to
as soon as you
Britonia.
leave this place.
Thank you. Are we supposed to be going to Britonia, Mother Inga?
I did not see what you saw. You should follow your instincts.
Very well.
Marius. Madame, perhaps you can... I was with Marius earlier, and he took me to this vile merchant's place, and they drugged her some kind of foul magic, and I had a terrible vision of my dear precious sister.
Indeed.
And I'm concerned. Because she, now... I am filled with fear now that this vision I had corresponds with the vision you just gave me here.
There's always possibility. Fate works in strange ways. Perhaps I could help. Wolf, can you step outside for a moment?
I guess looks a little concerned. Is like it looks at Bruno, I guess, and is like, all right,
Benno's eyes get a
And-
little big,
and,
little bit of concern.
yeah, all right, Mother Inga. And I walk outside.
Okay. You walk outside, the door, boom, closes behind you, Marius. As it does, the candlelight flicks out on the inside of the hovel. You're in complete darkness once again,
Oh,
Bragadine. And then you feel hands caressing your back,
Oh,
up your back, and then around your cheeks. They feel soft.
madame.
They feel soft and smooth. Then the candles
I
begin
did
to
not know you had company.
relight themselves. Mr. Bragandine. And the woman has her arm around your shoulder as she walks around to the side to look at you. Very beautiful woman in a very same exact garb that Mother Inga was wearing, but much more form-fitted, with not much left to the imagination. Very dark hair, and of course the eyes are also white and blanked. And she looks at you. I did not want to say this with the wolf in the room, but I fear your thread of fate is much shorter than the others. Expedience is necessary.
Oh no. Are you saying I am destined to die soon?
I'm saying that, for better or worse, Mr. Bernal, your very life may change drastically, depending on the choices you make very, very soon. Life, death, and many other things may befall you, Bragandine. And she caresses your cheek just slightly. But know this, Beno. Your fate is very much tied to these individuals. And there's something that you may not understand that ties you to them.
All
It
I
is
know is that we
necessary
met
for
tonight.
you to collect something. That's all that can be revealed to you, but no. It's all I can reveal to you. Just know that fate is at work. Go ahead, Bragadine.
Thank you, madame. Which, I don't know, how do I get started with this? Do I just
Well.
continue to follow with Marius?
I believe the dreams are telling in their own way. You should follow your destiny as it was.
Oh. Thank you. I know what I must do. Thank you.
And Bragandine, before you go, and she reaches into her kind of skirt area
Okay.
and pulls out something in her hand, which her fingernails are very long, but they're very well manicured. And when she opens up her hand, you see it looks like a pendant, but it's in the shape of what you know to be a grail. And there
snap.
are what appears to be tears dripping down the side of this grail. She holds it out to you. Tears
I
of the
reach my
faithful.
hands and
You grab a hold of
yeah.
it. As soon as you grab a hold of it, you feel like a supreme comfort and warmth. This will protect you. Something you will be in most need of.
I place it around my neck, and then I give her a solemn bow of gratitude.
As you bow, you feel a finger on your chin, Bragadine, that lifts your head up, and suddenly she is within inches of your face. Don't waste it, Mr. Bonneau. And she leans in for a big kiss, Bragadine. Are you going to try to flinch away?
Is this the pretty one with the dead
This is
eyes?
the
or
pretty
old
one.
with the dead eyes. Okay. I, as any Bretonian noble will do, will eat my vegetables for the dessert, and I
Of
will
course you will.
close my eyes, and give her a big kiss back.
Okay, you begin kissing, and then her hand wraps around the back of your head and just embraces you hard.
Oh,
And you're, and then it feels good. It's a beautiful moment.
all right.
And then you open your eyes, and there's this old, wrinkly woman
Yep. There it is.
lapping
There it is.
around your mouth. And she pulls away, gives a bit of a laugh.
You got me there.
That
Amanda.
was too easy, but no.
Oh.
Enjoy the
Always,
trinkets. I'll see you again, lover boy. As you stumble out of the hovel very quickly,
Marius,
and the
I
door
need to bow.
closes behind you.
Feels so dirty.
Bragging, what happened in there?
We had a nice discussion. Nothing else.
He has
But
like large amounts of saliva dripping down his chin, Marius, and like onto his shirt.
in a very
I
sour
heard-
face, like I just ate something rotten. Like,
I thought
ugh.
I heard a moan and perhaps sucking.
No, I know that is often what you hear when I am around. But no, that must have been. She poured me some tea. I don't know how it would have sounded like some kind of kiss or anything like that, but I don't know.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
Very
she said we would
interesting
find Sheamus. Marius, we must go to Bretonia. I will tell you one thing she told me. She told me that I must... It was confusing, but she said I must follow my dream. Something about my dream, and I'm terrified that this is my sister Emma, who is to be married. We must find Sheamus, and we must go to Bretonia. This I know inside.
Right.
And you must come with me. I don't know why, but I sense somehow I will need you. I will need Sheamus.
Well, let's go find Sheamus. If she's summoned us, he must be in grave danger. I'd recommend arming yourself, but no.
All right, I will. Is my shield on my back?
Yes,
maybe?
yes. I'm going to say
Yeah,
for the
so
sake of everything, you have your shield and your sword that he bought you, short sword.
Perfect. I will have my little sword and my little scabbard ready to get to, and my shield.
And
on my arm.
this is a much smaller shield, if I remember correctly. Did you buy the buckler?
No,
I
you
bought the heater.
You bought the heater? Okay, you bought the heater, so it's a plus
Yeah.
20 for defense.
Oh, sweet. What's short sword?
It's a plus 4, just basic.
Okay. Okay, sweet.
So
Cool,
yeah,
thank you.
no other extra stuff, just a plus 4. So there you go. You guys move out of Mother Inga's little hovel area and quickly go down the steps. Beno is probably like leading the way at this point, just very trying to get away from here as fast as he can. You make your way to the archway and step through, and suddenly it is pitch black out here. It's dark. You're in the deep woods.
Not again.
Bragging, you can't see shit. Marius, you can see a little bit. There's enough moonlight filtering in through the trees that you can barely get glimpses around you because of your enhanced vision used to being in the dark tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
And Marius, you're glancing around and you see a form of a man laying on his back with a arrow sticking out of his chest. And as you get a little bit closer, are you lighting a torch or anything?
Yeah, I'll probably light a torch.
Okay, you go ahead and light your torch.
my helmet.
Light the torch so that Beno can see as well. And as you do,
Oh, thank you, Marius.
Sheamus is revealed. He's not but 5 feet from you. And he is in dire straits. He's extremely pale, and he is sweating profusely, but he is still breathing, even if it is haggard.
Okay. I will light my candle on my helmet with the torch.
Okay. All right. You go ahead and light the old helmet candle.
Oh, helmet candle. I'll hand Beno the torch. And I'll start to try to tend to Sheamus's wounds.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me a heal test to remove the arrow.
Okay. Oh, I'm gonna re-roll.
Okay.
It was 100. He would have died.
Oh
Yes.
no.
That's a little better. That's a 34 out of 37.
Okay. You manage to remove the arrow, and as you remove it, you notice that there is these black tendrils coming from the wound, and you would recognize it as an infection. An infection is set in. An infection you're somewhat familiar with. You did see Braggadine with something similar. And from your experience, taking Braggadine to the Sisters of Shalia, and of course,
Multiple times.
Sarah. Yeah, multiple times, I might add. And probably multiple times during the course of the past couple weeks that he's even been here. You would recognize this as it is essentially a festering wound. There is some kind of infection. The fever will need to be dealt with. From a mechanical standpoint, Sheamus, you're going to have to make a test every night to see if the fever takes you in your sleep. for the next 3 days, and unless you can find medicine or something to resolve the effects before you do so. You also have a permanent fatigue condition until you get rid of your wound, your festering wound. So 1 fatigue condition, and you are minus 1 wound, so you can't recover 1 wound until you until the disease is removed as well.
Okay.
Does he get the 3 healing from my intelligence score, my heal score?
That was just to remove the arrow, and then because of his condition, he doesn't receive anything else. The rest of that was you basically knowing what's going on with him, and he's still currently unconscious.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna try
DM
to.
question real quick.
Yes.
The liquid that Mother Inga was pouring into my throat to wake me up, did it restore any of my wounds?
No, it did not.
Okay, thank you.
Figuring I probably can't do a ton at the moment. I'm probably gonna try to build a makeshift camp and try to tend to him if I can, I guess.
Okay. Do you
His Mother
have...
Inga's hovel's gone, right?
Yeah, it's gone. When you glance back, it's gone. Do you have anything on your person that you think might help you with this? Because otherwise, it's not looking good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm not trying to I'm just thinking from the time of day, I'd have to go to bed soon, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So my thought is just trying to build up a camp, get a place for him to rest.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead and give me an outdoor
and,
survival roll then.
Okay. That's a 41 out of 51.
Okay. All right. So with that roll, with a 1 degree of success, you nearby where you're at right now, there's actually a bit of an alcove. It looks like Sheamus was actually making his way to this area to probably try to recover before he succumbed to his injury. And you see multiple other injuries out of his person that you managed to kind of stem together and prevent them from getting infected. Though the arrow in his chest is concerning. You sit him up against some of the rocks and you build a small encampment. And are you going to keep a fire going? Or what are you going to do about that?
I'm thinking a fire probably would be best.
Probably like a small fire.
Yeah.
It gets decently chilly here this time of year.
Okay.
You're not quite in winter, but you're probably getting close to the fall-ish kind of time.
Yeah, I know it's close to the mountains.
Yeah, and of course it's always a little bit colder being this close to the mountains. So you build a small fire, and it's enough to kind of stem the tide. Bragging has nothing on him outside of his sword and shield. Does not have a bedroll. He does not have anything else. So you have your stuff, Marius.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming you're going to take turns sleeping, or what are we doing here?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Who's going to be up first?
I feel very refreshed from the drink she gave me, so I will stay awake and take first watch, Marius.
All right. Be sure to keep that torch on you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes.
I'll probably just kind of lay against the stone or tree or something like that. Try to get some shut eye.
Yeah, there's another stone kind of near Sheamus that is still in the warmth of the fire.
I'll let Sheamus sleep in the bedroll.
Okay. All right, lay him down. And then, you begin to drift away. Bragging, go ahead and give me a perception test.
Ooh, 58. But let's see. I got 58 out of 81.
Okay, so you pass a
levels of
hearing
success.
test, but you fail a perception test.
I did.
Visual
I
test.
failed any sight test, yes.
Yeah, but you passed on the ears, so that's good. So, Bragadine, you're listening intently, and you're kind of looking around. You still feel a little bit of a little tremor every once in a while, due to the narcotics you partook in earlier.
Got the shakes.
You got just a little bit, but you're glancing around, and it's very unnerving. This deep and dark into the woods, and especially since you have no idea where you're at. You just appeared here. Sheamus is beat to hell. You have no idea what happened to him. And after about an hour or so, Bragadine, you start to hear braying out in the woods, and you recognize the call of the foul beastmen, similar to the ones that attacked you in that bloody tunnel not so long ago. They seem distant, but loud enough for you to hear them.
I kind of reach over and shake Marius a little bit to try and wake him up.
Okay. Marius, do you awaken?
Yes, I guess I'll wake up a little bit.
Okay. You wake up.
What is
Marius, do you remember in the tunnel those creatures, the beastmen creatures? I can hear some in the distance. We are not alone in these woods.
Yes, that is probably true. There's plenty of them out here. Stay on guard, Bragadine. You're hearing getting closer. Wake me up again. And
Okay.
I go back to sleep.
Okay. He goes back to sleep. The rest of your watch goes relatively uneventful. Bragadine, you do hear the braying in the distance every so often, and the sound of drums. But other than that,
Oh man.
that's all you hear. Your watch ends, and it is now Marius Wolf, your turn.
Alright.
Go ahead and give me a perception test, Marius.
Alright. That is a 26 out of 57.
Okay, 26 out of 57. With that many success levels, you also hear sounds similar to what Bragadine heard earlier, except for they're much closer. Much, much closer. But throughout the rest of your watch and into the morning, nothing piques your interest enough to put you more on guard than you weren't before. And a night has passed. Sheamus, I told you wrong. You don't need to roll that endurance test to die. The fever is a little bit different. It's not a severe fever. So you simply just have another additional -10 to all physical tests.
Okay.
So you got one fatigue condition, permanent till the disease is gone, and then you got a -10 to physical tests. So, be that as it will. But Sheamus, you awaken. Actually, all of you go ahead and roll me endurance. Well, Marius, do you even need any hit points back?
Well, I mean, I do need 2, but my toughness
Okay,
is
yeah,
at
you'll
5,
just
so I
okay. So
figure-
don't worry about rolling.
Yeah.
So Sheamus
Okay.
and Bragadine, go ahead and roll endurance tests for me.
Okay.
I rolled a 26 out of 67, but I assume that's like the -10 and stuff. So
You will have you have a -10 for the fatigue. So
yeah,
just
so
do the math.
57.
Yeah, do the math, and you recover your toughness bonus plus your success levels and wounds. Bragadine?
I rolled 12 out of 52.
Okay, same thing. Toughness bonus plus your
Sweet.
success levels and wounds. recovered.
Cool. Thank you.
And Sheamus, you sputter awake. Your chest is burning. It hurts bad. And as you awaken, Sheamus, you notice that your travel companions are there with you.
Fuck are you doing here?
Good morning, sunshine.
What the fuck are you doing here? We come out here and save you, and this is how you speak to us? It's good to see you, Sheamus.
Didn't need any saving.
Yes, you had it under control. I'm gonna start a heal check on him.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make me a heal check.
Okay. Not as good. That's 37 out of 37. I don't know if that
Ooh,
heals
right
me.
on the money. So just your intelligence bonus. And
That's 3.
so
Three
you
points of
recover
healing.
an additional 3 wounds as Marius kind of
Oh yeah, racking them up.
he wraps the numerous wounds you have and does a very firm wrap around your chest area, around the kind of infected looking wound is, and has enough forethought to pour a little bit of water and try to clean it before he does so. So you recover 3 more wounds.
Sweet.
So that is that. What are we doing now, boys? What are we doing?
Sheamus, or the Inga, she told us we have another page to find.
Of course, always something.
I know. But she also told us that you were in danger, so Bragging and I stumbled upon you. She brought us here. What happened? Why do you have all these holes in your chest?
It's just a misunderstanding.
I would say so. Knowing that, Seamus is probably not going to tell me anything.
Yes,
Because, he's Sheamus.
it's true.
I am going to probably we need to get out of these woods. Back to town. So I
Say so.
start packing up camp.
Mm-hmm. Have any
Do you
thoughts on
not
that,
know where we
Sheamus?
are? Do you know where we are, Marius?
I don't believe I do. Probably. Do I know where I am?
Actually, go ahead and give me a... Oh, man, what would this be?
I am a peasant.
I know. And you used to live out in the woods.
Yeah.
I mean, you used to live out in these woods, so I feel like you'd be pretty
Sure.
knowledgeable. And Sheamus did grow up here, even though this is probably the furthest out in the deep woods you've ever been, Sheamus. But go ahead and give me a go ahead and give me outdoor survival. We'll just rack it up
Marius?
again. Yeah, Marius.
Okay.
Yeah, just a straight roll.
That's 12 out of 57.
Damn. Okay. You begin glancing around, and you realize you're going to have to get out of this kind of thicket that you're in currently nearby to get a good idea of where you're at. So you pack up camp, and the 3 of you pull your way free of some of the nearby foliage, and you see in the distance one of the hills, the distinctive hills on one of the nearby mountains, and you think that you have your bearings. And you are at least 3 to 4 hours out into the woods. Sheamus was running for a long time. At a walk, it'll take you about 3 or 4 hours to get back to town.
Okay. Guess we start trudging.
Okay. You begin walking that way. Who's leading?
I'm assuming Marius
assume,
would.
yeah, I assume Marius is.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Marius, go ahead and give me a perception test.
Are his eyes still messed up?
yeah,
At this
it's true,
point,
I
they
guess.
would have. At this point they would have recovered. You've spent at least 2 days
Yeah.
now.
That's a 53 out of 57.
Okay, that's a good thing they have recovered, isn't it? So they're probably still like blackened, but they're not swollen anymore like they were.
I'm looking handsome again, you know?
Yeah, somewhat handsome. You, with just a success, you're just trudging along. An hour goes by. 2 hours go by, and you're starting to recognize where you're at. 3 hours go by, and you start hearing cracking of brush and things nearby. Probably just a small animal. Nothing to worry about.
Of course.
Getting closer and closer to town. And you make it out into the clearing that leads to the front gates. Unhindered.
Thank goodness,
Town.
civilization again.
Now, because of the angle and direction you were in, you did not actually take the road itself. You end up appearing out of the clearing around town in the distance from the main road. So you did not take a normal path through. But you rolled well enough on your survival check to do it. So you have made it to Sealburg.
All right.
And somehow managed to bypass the road wardens.
Oh. Oh.
And any questions that might have been had. Yeah. Oh.
All right. I probably, I guess while we're walking through the forest, I'd probably get Sheamus up on what happened with gold and
Yeah. I'm assuming you're doing that on
Bragging
the
and-
walk in. Yeah.
James, it was
Burning
terrible,
Bragging's
all the
book.
work. My
yes, yeah.
somehow
I
it got burnt.
Secretly tell Sheamus I burned the shit out of that book.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, what? What was that, Marius? What did you say?
I said
He does have king hearing.
The book fell. And the book fell, and it was terrible. Oh.
It fell from. Wait, did you burn my book?
And as that
what
happens,
would
you're
happen
walking
if
through the gates, and somebody calls down, "Hoi, you three!" And then he glances down. He sees Marius and Sheamus. Oh, my apologies. And then goes about his business.
Give him a
Oh, he
nod,
must have
you know.
recognized me, gentlemen.
Yeah, of course.
Sure he did.
You move through the main gate, which is open. You're on the cobbled stone main thoroughfare of Sealburg. Where are we heading, gentlemen?
Gentlemen, we must go to my house, since we must set off for Bretonia post haste. But I need to gather a few things, and I must send a letter to Nuln, to the firm that was going to publish my book, and tell them that it will take me a few months to rewrite it.
That sounds really important.
Yes, indeed.
That's because it is, Marius. I said it, so it must be important.
Yes, of course. Would you like to go to your house by yourself? You know, you've only been
No.
accosted there twice.
No,
in the past 2
I
days.
will not. No, I do not want to spend a day, for many days, where I do not see your face at all times. I will even stay in the chambers with you when you get married. Perhaps I can give you tips. So,
I thank you.
James is going for a beer.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sheamus,
you going to the
I'll catch up with
Thaggy?
you.
Yep, going on
Okay.
Thaggy.
All right, you guys.
Seamus,
split
go
off.
meet your dwarf. We will meet you up later.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
probably
Sheamus,
try to
you
go.
Yeah, you make your way to the thing. We'll follow the duo of Bragadine and Marius for just a moment as you make it to the estate, the Bragadine estate, the Bonneau estate, and the door is cracked open as the bolt was kicked off of its hinges, and you push open the door, Bragadine, and it's a mess in here. And not only is it a mess, Bragadine, but it looks like somebody took a shit on your bed.
Jesus!
And it looks like various things of graffiti and just all kinds of things have happened inside here, as your house has been left unsecured for more than a night. And it looks like probably some
that we are leaving.
Probably some children have been fucking in here. Who knows what else? It's horrible. It's horrible.
An F Shack?
It's yeah. This was the
Dirty Mike.
Dirty Mike and the boys
Mike and the boys.
made a nest in here at some point. So it smells horrible, and there still is that lingering scent of rat man.
Yeah, I am just gonna gather whatever few possessions I kind of have. Maybe another change of clothes, some writing materials.
Yes.
Basically, so I can write my letter and make notes as I go throughout the.
Okay. There's enough. You get enough things for you to be able to cobble it together. The first set of clothes you got to remove out of your drawer. You pull the drawer open, and they're just soaked in piss. And then you quickly close that door. Open up the next drawer, and you manage to secure a single change of clothing out of the other ones that have been used for God knows what. And you have your belongings now, and you have your letter written.
When Bragadine's kind of done and kind of stepping to leave, oh, Bragadine, I nearly forgot. Here's your money, and I give him 2 of his gold coins. That's all he has left.
2 gold coins.
And
he hands you 2 gold
No,
coins.
Marius, I will need the whole bag though. We have to secure passage.
Yes, that is all that is left. You remember your whoring.
No, I remember that I gave you my bag to watch, and you disappeared for 2 days or a day and a half, and now you have no money?
I remember you staying in a whorehouse and having a grand old time. And when the bill came up, you told me to pay it, and I did. And so, here's your 2 gold coins. Thank you, sir. Let us go.
And the 2 of you
is so much speechless right now.
Yes. As it finally dawns on Bragadine that he in fact did spend his money on whores. So yes, that did in fact happen.
I will put my 2 gold coins in my little purse and follow Marius out.
Yes.
I'm back as I'm walking away.
What?
Just so
what
you
time
know,
of day is it?
Bragadine.
It's early. It's not even noon yet.
Marius, let me drop this off at the post, and then we can go and meet Sheamus.
And for Bragadine, the post isn't really actually the place where you deliver the post. The post is the small servant man at the governor's mansion as he walks up to the door and knocks on the door. Yes? Oh, it's you.
Ah, yes.
As little Krieger is standing before you, and you just hand him a piece of post, and he just he turns bright red, and he snatches the letter from you. Will that be all, Mr. Bonneau?
I tell him
for now.
I want to whisper down at Bragadine. You might want to tell him to clean up your house while you're away. And then I
look at Marius.
I try to
give him like a wink.
Whisper it too.
Right. Oh, and the estate I was staying at, you will need something to clean it up. Oh, I will be leaving soon. Just anytime. Just go and take care of that for me, please. Thank you.
Yeah, Krieger, And
he
I
just,
walk away.
yeah, he just sighs.
Wait.
Defeated.
Marius, do you have any a brass coin, perhaps, Marius?
Yes, I do. And I hand him a brass coin.
Yes.
Here you go, servant. Mr.
You hand him
Krieger.
a
There we
single
go.
brass, and he takes it.
For your troubles. Much more.
He just looks at you in disbelief. And then he slams the door without saying a word. And you hear just, motherfucker! And then just like getting thrown around on the inside of the door.
What a strange little man he was.
I enjoy him.
Of course. And then you venture your way to the Thaggy. You find Mr. Sheamus at the bar, drinking his troubles away.
The strongest drink, the biggest plate of food.
Biggest plate. He's just eating and drinking. He is doing great. Go ahead and give me a consume alcohol test, Sheamus, at -10.
Right.
Actually, technically,
Minus
it's
10?
a physical test, so it's -20.
-20? Alright. Ooh. Blessed by the gods here. That's a 47 out of a 47.
Ooh, man. Okay. All right. So you managed to contain your drink. Probably not a good idea to be drinking with a fever, but to each his own. It's fine.
Yep.
Thordoom's just hammering them to you. You look like hammered shit anyway. So, and he's been talking to you, kind of asking you what happened. I'm sure you didn't tell him that anything important because you never do. So I'm just gonna go with that. You didn't. So yes. Marius and Bragadine, as you make it to the Thaggy, there are not a lot of people inside. You see Sheamus is at the bar. Him and Thordoom have a heated conversation. And by heated, you mean Thordoom's just kind of yelling at people and then talking about the good old days. And you see there are a few patrons inside. You've got an older, very much regular that's in here just all the damn time. He's probably a miner of some kind. You've got a small collection of some kind of, it looks like young adults, perhaps. Don't know what they're doing in here this early. And then in a corner booth towards the back, there are 3 dwarves. It looks like chainmail and like leathers and whatnot. Nothing real heavy. They have cloaks about their shoulders, but of course, heads uncovered. Very long beards. The one in the center has a long beard that you can't really see how low it is due to him sitting at the table at the booth. But they are drinking as well, heartily, screaming at each other. It looks like one of them is arm wrestling the other right now, currently. And that's what you see inside. Sarah, of course, is bringing them food. And then as soon as she sees Marius and Bragadine come in, she's just a sigh of relief and then goes about her business before she will come check on you again.
Marius would probably be, dear, please, would you take a look at Sheamus? He has a nasty wound on his chest that I think is infected.
Oh, does he now? Sheamus, come. Let's do this over here. And she motions to to the back, essentially.
Get up, start taking off my shirt, essentially. All my
as you're walking to the back, you're just starting to strip. To the other patrons, it looks highly unusual, But Marius isn't a jealous man. He knows nothing's going to happen. You say bastard. Sheamus comes
Marius
back
is
there.
Pretty confident.
Yeah. So, Sheamus, you get back into the back. You have taken your shirt off, and Sheamus isn't. He may not be Marius ripped. He's in pretty good shape, though. He's a very active man. Exactly, and he's just really big. He's a big guy. So She comes walking up to you, Sheamus, and starts feeling around the wound, and it's tender every time she pokes it.
Mm-hmm. I'm still drinking some alcohol, by the way.
Yeah, you're still drinking.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at it, and Sheamus, it's definitely infected. I can't tell you anything more than that, though. I'm sorry. You might need.
I could tell that
you
by
might want
looking
to
at
see
it myself.
the sisters. They have more practice with this sort of thing.
Sisters, what's the matter? And I'll just pour a little bit of alcohol on it.
Oh yes. All right. Go ahead and give me a toughness test at -20.
Oh, -20. Oh yes, that's a 31 out of 32.
Okay. All right. So just barely a pass. So you only take one wound. As you pour alcohol into your festering wound, and it burns and bubbles, and you do manage to not like fall off of or like lose your grip and stumble into the floor, but it burns a lot, and you flinch, and yes, you do. You can subtract a wound from your total right now.
Took it like a man.
Sarah kind of grimaces. Well, Sheamus, the best I can do is wrap this up. And she begins wrapping you, re-wrapping your wound, essentially. And then we'll step outside and let you collect yourself.
Get dressed.
Okay, get dressed. The rest of you, what are we doing outside during this moment, during this time?
Marius is probably talking to Thordoom about figuring out a way to get to Britonia.
Okay.
Here.
So that's what you guys are talking about? So Thordoom's, he's kind of, Hi, Marius. Hi. You guys look like you've had a hell of a day, especially you, little one. And he points at Bragadine.
Yes. It has been an eventful day, but it seems like every day here in the Empire is an eventful day.
Ha ha ha! That's fancy pants poshy. What do you call yourselves, Bretonians? Wouldn't know any better. Of a good old-fashioned scrap here in the Empire. Of course, there's nothing on the Karazankor. Though, I don't need to tell the two of you that. You've done your fair share of delving into the depths, have you not?
Very true, very true.
Wow. Passage, you said. You can't secure ferry of some kind of manling wagon I've seen them use.
We're a little short on coin. I don't believe we would have enough.
Well,
I didn't know if you knew of another way through the mountains. I'm an excellent climber.
Huh. That's interesting you say so, Marius. Cleric! Cleric, you daft bastard! And he's calling out towards the corner booth. And the dwarf in the center, grizzled older dwarf, kind of sits up. Hi, Thordoom! What you have to say? Cleric, come here! And he kind of pushes aside one of the other dwarfs and stomps his way over there. He's only about 4'8", but he easily weighs 400 pounds.
Fuck.
And it doesn't look like it's gut. Like he's a solid, like all the dwarves are pretty solid. This guy is built. And he boom, 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 boom. Walks over to the lot of you. And he hops up onto a stool at the bar. Gets up there. Hi, Thordoom. What you got for me? And then Thordoom. Well, Cleric, I think I found that muscle you've been asking about. And he motions over towards you, Marius. Cleric kind of gives you a once-over. He starts touching you, and he puts out his arm, Marius. Like you should grasp it.
I was about to say I know what's going to happen, so yeah, I grasp.
Okay. You lock hands. Go ahead and give me a strength chest, Marius.
Oh, goody. Oh, I'm going to have to reroll. Reroll it! Oh, that's much better. That's a 19 out of 60.
Okay, 19 out of 60. So you lock hands and you begin to squeeze, and as you do, he begins to actually give a little bit. He gets out a hearty chuckle and then slaps you on the back with the other hand as he comes in for almost like an embrace, and he I see. Yeah, you know how to pick him, Thordum. That you do. He'll do nicely, that he will.
Does he know that I have a dwarven friendship?
You're breaking up a little bit. I didn't quite get that.
Does he know that I have an emblem of dwarven friendship?
Do you have it just visible right now?
Probably. Is it like a brooch? Is it a brooch?
Yeah, it's kind of like a brooch. Yeah, kind of like you would tie together a like a cloak with.
Mm-hmm. I don't have it exposed, in front of anyone or anything. I just didn't know if Thordu told him.
No, he obviously doesn't know yet, unless you have it exposed.
Sheamus keeps his exposed.
Yeah, and so Sheamus comes walking out of the back, buttoning his shirt and making sure his armor is all form-fitted, and then takes his dwarven friendship badge and clips his cloak together with it exposed. And Cleric looks over
like a little flavor slave,
and Cleric's eyes kind of widen. Thordum, did you give that to him? Hi, Cleric. Hi. He'll be coming with you as well as I'm assuming this little one here. He's probably good for nothing, but he comes with the pair.
Oh, God. You're so funny, Master Dwarf.
And he looks at you he just looks at you, Braggadine. I'm not laughing, boy. Then he looks back at Cleric, and Cleric holds his hand out to Sheamus. Cleric Bronzehammer.
Seamus McGreedy. Shake him. Shake his hand.
Firm shake, boy. Firm shake. I like it. Well, I've needed some company. We're going to Carrick Norn. I could drop you somewhere if you need be.
According to this lot, apparently we're supposed to go to fucking Bretonia.
Bretonia? Oh! And he spits on the ground. Fancy folk there.
Yeah, a bunch of noble bastards.
And then he's pretending like he doesn't hear you at all, Braggadine. And, well, I tell you what. I'll take you to Bretonia. In exchange for safe passage. We'll call it even.
Where?
Through the underway, of course.
We aren't going to go through Axbite Pass?
No.
That is the main thoroughfare between the two nations.
This is a much slower man-lane way of travel. We will go through the mountain, delve the deeps.
You have to excuse the little man here. He doesn't understand how dwarves operate.
Of course not. Wouldn't expect it.
I'll join you on your travels, though.
Indeed,
Well,
and
yeah,
I will
yeah.
see you safe to this Bretonia.
We all will. I kind of whisper down to Bragging. Bragging, this is good. We can get there for nothing at all, and probably quicker than we would the rest by pass.
We would be happy to accompany you, Master Dwarf.
Then we have an accord.
And we...
Drinks on the house. Thordum.
Does Thordum give drinks?
Thordum immediately. Ah! And he gets out. He's going behind the counter, and he's got this big ass keg that he sets on the countertop and immediately taps it. You heard him, boys! Come and get it! And the few patrons that are in there are scrambling towards the towards the open keg. And I'm assuming drinking will ensue.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know Sheamus.
Indeed,
Sheamus.
indeed.
I know you like a good drink, but maybe you should go see the sisters.
And do time, Marius. We don't even know how soon we're leaving. Let's enjoy
All
drinking
right.
with my new friends.
Very well.
And that is almost where we're going to cut tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken, as through the windows outside, several figures are watching. Perhaps on the roof, perhaps on the ground, perhaps through a sewer grate. I leave it to the viewers to decide who is watching this exchange happen inside of the Silver Thaggy.
Perhaps it's from the back of Bretonian war horses.
That is not an option. But yes,
A good shot.
they will determine who has seen what has happened. And that is where we're ending tonight's episode of Rise of the Forsaken. So, good episode, guys. Good, a lot of shit happened. We cleared some quests out of the way. There's still some dangling,
Yeah, we
but
did.
we'll get there eventually, I'm sure. Yeah, awesome sesh, guys. That went really good. Got a lot of stuff done. Sheamus lived. That's a plus. He made it. He made it somehow. You had some good rolls, man. You had some good rolls.
Woo!
And a lot of luck, I'll say.
Burned a lot of stuff.
You burned a lot of stuff, but you made it.
To get through that.
But you made it. You made it. That's all that matters. So, favorite moments of the night. Let's start with Mr. Wolf.
Oh gosh. Maybe burning that book. Felt pretty good. Felt pretty
I bet
good.
it did. Indeed, it was. A lot of closure when that book just burned. Sat there and watched it just turn to ashes.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Bragging's dreams right there.
All his dreams gone in a puff of smoke. How about Mr. Sheamus?
Of course, the book burning, as that has been to the cause of all of our troubles.
It has. Indeed, it has.
And then probably the moment when I found out that Bragging signed a blank piece of paper and just gave it away.
Yes, he did. It's fan. That's I mean, I personally enjoyed that moment as well. But we'll get to mine.
That will come up later on our travels to Bretonia.
I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. How about Monsieur Benoit?
Probably when Mother Inga goes in for a kiss and goes in as the young one and comes out as the older one, and trying to hide the revulsion. Yeah.
Oh, Bragging
You
might have
are,
liked
you
it.
are the
trick
only
there.
person. The only person that's kissed Mother Inga in this campaign.
Goth girls and old ladies. That's what he likes, apparently. So
He's into it. He's into it. Bragadine's a bit of the ladies' man, much more than I expected.
He is. He is.
Young, old,
Doesn't
undead.
matter.
Yeah, he doesn't
That's
care.
true.
It's all up for grabs.
that's good.
So, yeah. If
He
I
is
had a
a
favorite
rake.
moment of the night, let's see here. I don't know. There's a lot of good moments. I thoroughly enjoyed how Sheamus finally escaped from everything, because he had I will say the deck was stacked against him severely, and he managed to fight free somehow, some way. Even with the festering wound, that's almost nothing compared to what could have happened. So you didn't even get a single critical hit done on you, which was surprising. So yeah, awesome.
Guess we have to see if some bounty hunter comes looking for the headsman. You know?
Hey, yeah,
Ooh, hell yeah, let's do it.
Maybe there's one looking through the window right now. Who knows? We'll see. We'll find out.
Sure.
I'm torn on the vote if I want them to choose, bounty hunters or Skaven. Just have a big Skaven brawl.
It doesn't. I will
I
say.
kind of wanted to be witch hunters.
That could also be that. I will say though, the only people that knew that Sheamus actually actively probably betrayed them in some way was Bertrand and Giggles, and then there's a mysterious third rider that we never saw what happened to. So that's up to the viewers to decide, basically, if the road wardens are waiting outside or not. We'll see. So
shit.
So we'll see. We'll see. It's a 50-50 coin flip on that one, because the other two died before they could report to anybody. So we'll see, guys.
Guess we'll see how loyal my friends are.
Indeed you will.
Oh yeah, loyal.
Loyal.
This is bullshit.
Yeah. As usual, guys, I have been Jumbo Thick. Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, make sure to like the channel and subscribe, of course, if you haven't. Indeed, we are doing this weekly. We've been doing it for quite some time now, and we enjoy bringing the game to all of you. Do make sure to leave comments down in the comment section. Make sure to do the viewer request, the viewer decision for next week if you want to help influence the game in some way. It's an opportunity for you to do so. And of course, as usual, I've been Jumbo Thick. This has been Rise of the Forsaken, and we are all looking forward to seeing you in the next episode.